What is up, gang? Nick here. Welcome to the show if you're new. Thanks for coming back if you're not. If you have been with me for some time now, you will have endured the ups and downs of NIO. I first bought into this company at just $3 a share and first told my subscribers to go in at $7 a share. What a wild ride this has been. I am strictly a long-term investor and position myself in innovative disruptors poised to dominate the coming landscape, and I really do think NIO is going to be a top EV powerhouse 3, 5, 10 years down the line. I invest looking for growth and upside, and I am still extremely bullish on NIO. I want to dedicate this video to NIO's long-term projections, where the company sees themselves moving, and where I think share prices will be. I'll be uncovering leaks, documents, management operations, and more. Shout out to everyone on our Discord private channels. The markets were volatile last week, but we're up over 50% on our penny stock portfolio overall. If you want access to our private charts, under the radar stocks, up and comers, my real-time trades, and all of my different portfolios, you can gain access through our Patreon page. I also release behind the scenes more content, and the chat is always popping off. What a cool community. I'm getting to know a lot of you, and I love it. Before we get it today, Webull is giving out 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850. All you have to do is 1, sign up, 2, open an account, and 3, deposit in at least $100 using the link in my description. This is a no-brainer. They are a 0% commissions trading platform and offer some of the best analytics in the game. This offer ends soon, guys. You don't want to sleep on it. Alright, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Alright, so I actually want to start off by talking about what I think is a dark horse division of NIO's business operations that I don't really see anyone talking about. As we all know, NIO uses battery swapping technology to replace batteries instead of a plug-in charge method like Tesla uses. Now, this lowers waiting times, reduces mileage anxiety, and keeps resale value relatively intact, as there is no long-lasting wear and tear and diminishing of the vehicle's core component, their battery. Now, what I think a lot of investors are missing is just how lucrative their division, NIO Power, could be in the coming years, and here is why. NIO is expected to earn a percentage on every single battery swap performed. They are also selling increased quantities of service packages, energy package subscriptions, accessories, which all increase in conjunction with vehicle sales. With more vehicles on the roads, sales from NIO Power and their accessory units will continually increase a larger proportion to their bottom line. Now, I'll get more into this shortly, but how many vehicles could NIO feasibly sell? I do think NIO will be able to deliver over 100,000 vehicles in 2021. Taking their vehicle revenue throughout Q3 and dividing it by their vehicles sold, we can obtain the average vehicle cost of roughly $51,000 USD. Now, using the hypothetical that this average cost doesn't change, and under the assumption that they do deliver 100,000 vehicles, we arrive at $5.1 billion USD in vehicle sales throughout the calendar year 2021. Now, we can also safely assume that their vehicle margin and their gross margins are also going to increase during this time period. I'm hoping for vehicle margins to be roughly around 20%. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they were even higher. Now, the road to profitability at this point is looking extremely close. Now, this would be a massive incline year over year, but I do think this is feasible and would greatly drive up share prices. Remember that closing out the year, Lee Bin, NIO's CEO, ordered double shift mode, which brought the monthly deliveries up over 30% over the course of 1 month alone. Now, looking at NIO's projections that they had released in August 2020, we're already surpassing these figures, showing pent-up demand for their products. Now, it's not just the calendar year 2021 that I have my eye on, but it's really 2022 that I'm most focused on, and here's why. NIO and JAC Motors affiliation contract comes to a close in May 2021 this year, at which point NIO can do a few things. They can decide to extend it, go out on their own, or a mixture of these two. Now, we do know from documents obtained from Anhui Province Hefei that NIO has established they are building a factory that will take about a year to complete. However, I do think they will expedite this and finish before the close of 2021 at the ready for the release of their ET7, their newest sedan. I do think this factory will be exclusively designed for their sedan model, which would make sense as they are expecting this vehicle to launch in Q1 2022. Now, there's reason to believe that NIO will remain a affiliated with JAC Motors for their first-gen vehicles, however, begin the process of vertical integration on their second-gen vehicles, the ET7, and their next vehicle they are planning on releasing after this. Now, I do think leaks will be trickling out concerning their newest vehicle they are releasing after the ET7, but we do know for fairly certain that this will indeed be a sedan. Now, I personally think that this will be a less expensive version of the ET7 that they will really push and try to sell in bulk units rather than receiving just high margins like their first-gen vehicles. I will have a full video coming out about this in a few days. Make sure you subscribe. Now, all of that aside, with two factories at a minimum in working production by Q1 2022, we can expect vehicle sales to yet again double throughout the course of 2022. With the Chinese government extending the subsidy programs for NIO until at least the end of 2022, this should increasingly incentivize their domestic products over foreign brands like Tesla. Now, this is important as I do think NIO will then have both a Model 3 and Model S competitor out by then and could really carve into their Chinese market share. This would firmly place NIO in both the luxury electric vehicle space and the mid-affordability market. I do think at this point they will be able to squander out other startup competitors such as Li Auto and Xpeng. I just don't think they will be able to compete with NIO long term and will slowly lose market share if NIO does enter the mid-affordability market. We have seen other startups perform in this exact operation, releasing a large, expensive luxury SUV first, in this case the ES8, and then progressively smaller units. In this way, the larger luxury high-margin vehicles can fund the future operations. We also know that NIO is leading the charge in terms of autonomous driving and is expected to have L4 capabilities in 2022 and is continuously pouring money into their research and development. They are seeing this as a crucial way forward. I think another important aspect that is sometimes overlooked is NIO's affiliation with the Chinese government. Now, yes, you might have differing opinions on this. Now, yes, NIO has indeed performed tranche buybacks of their stake, now owning more than 90% of NIO China. However, I do not think they will repurchase the entire company, and this is important. I do think that having friends in high places, so to speak, can act extremely well for the company for the foreseeable future. Remember, this initial buyback essentially saved NIO from going full bankrupt, and it seems as though the Hefei Chinese government having stake in NIO could be extremely important in NIO's future. Many analysts are still slightly confused as to why the national subsidy applies to luxury electric vehicles only if they have swappable batteries. It's apparent that the government is either, really thirsty for swappable batteries or wants to actively promote their domestic product of which they have stake in. NIO is quickly becoming China pride, and I think this will escalate sales in the coming quarters and years. We have seen great partnerships between the state and NIO as the battery infrastructure is growing increasingly robust, in part thanks to the Hefei government. They also plan on having 500 units installed by the end of this calendar year, mostly formatted as the Battery Swap 2.0 model, apt to hold up to 13 batteries and charge at quicker rates under 3 minutes. Now, there are talks that future EV companies or legacy brands moving into the EV sphere may even format their own vehicles to be compatible with NIO's swap stations. This infrastructure is already laid down. I don't think anyone could have seen these working out as well as they are. Remember that Tesla had toyed with this idea very early on, but deemed it not feasible as it would cost too much upfront and is just a downright risky investment. But it is paying off incredibly well for NIO as it enables them to implement battery as a service, allows users increased customization, allows increased transparency, grants faster turnaround time, lower wait times and less lines, increases resale value, decreases the barrier to entry point. This really is the core aspect to their entire business model. It was a huge risk as they did have to go extremely deep into the red to get this up and running, but here we are. It's up and running and performing superb. Now, if other companies were to format for NIO swap stations, NIO would likely receive a premium on every single charge, and I do think that NIO Power will grow in its proportion to revenue on a steady basis. With more charge stations, this only escalates. Now, NIO is also entering the European arena and likely throwing themselves in the fierce EV battle that is Oslo, Norway. They have many posted job opportunities on LinkedIn in Oslo, and Oslo is a very likely target and makes sense for a number of reasons. NIO has stated that they will be able to deliver at least 7,000 vehicles in 2 years. However, I do think this is a vast understatement and grotesquely conservative. NIO NIO typically does this. There are also talks that they will be spearheading the Copenhagen, Denmark market, and Lee Bin has publicly stated that he wants to be in every major global market by 2023 or 2024. This shows NIO's aggressive expansion plans, and I do think this is absolutely necessary for the company. There's virtually no real competition for Tesla in America currently, and I think that NIO would be able to steal away a significant portion of their market share. We need to also remember just how robust their cash position is. They have a massive quantity of cash and are really padded out for the short and medium term. This company has completely 180'd on their cash position in the past year, and I am extremely keen to see what this capital begins investing in. Perhaps more factories, R&D, autonomous driving, new sedans, the European expansion, more robust infrastructure. I will update you all. Now on the day today, we are trading up. We finally broke that 6-day slide, and if you were watching my real-time trades on our private Discord, you would have seen me steadily picking up shares of NIO along the way. Remember folks, I'm primarily a long-term trader, and I am securing positions for the future of this company. I would not be surprised if we did see a drop a few days after the earnings release on March 1st. I will have a video explaining why this is coming out shortly. However, I'm comfortable buying on dip days as it is. I am mostly interested in their vehicle margins and their gross margins for Q4. I'm hoping for figures around 18 and 16% respectively. I will live stream the entire event and guide you all through the turmoil, so make sure you subscribe. You do not want to miss that. It's going to be extremely important. I do think that as this company grows, a snowball-like effect will occur and their deliveries will begin rapidly escalating with their 2 new sedans on the market. I by no means think that a share price in the mid 300s is a stretch for Q4 2023 once they are rampant in Europe, have at least 6 vehicles on the market, have a robust infrastructure system, have plans for the US market, and are escalating deliveries every single month. I will have a full analytical breakdown on this on my Patreon page. If you are interested in the numbers and how I got here, make sure to check that out. I don't get too frazzled on their short-term numbers, this crazy volatility. Zoom out, think of the big picture and where this fascinating, innovative disruptor could be 3, 5, 10 years down the line. Don't forget about the Webull promo, 2 free stocks worth up to 1,850. They are a 0% commissions trading platform. You don't want to miss out on these free stocks. It's really a win-win situation. Check out the Patreon page. There's always more content behind the scenes, under the radar stocks. This also grants you access to our private Discord channels. There is a ton of upside in these channels. You could see my different portfolios and my trades in real time. You do not want to miss that. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for the continued support. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, folks. We're stronger together. I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Happy trading. Cheers.